Yo, and welcome.
Yo.
Up? How you guys doing?
Yeah, we're good. We're good, Mr. FaZe. How are you?
I am chilling. I had to get bold, shiny, extra. Hey.
Fresh cut, yeah?
Oh yeah, you already know.
Looking smooth.
A smooth banana is a good banana, man.
All right, cool. So we got some people in the house already. Serotones, How you doing, guys?
What's up, dude? Oh, I have to get this stream open on Twitch.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, we're I'm think most people are used to us just being in the HDUK community, but today we're actually on YouTube and we're on Twitch as well.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, we're getting out there, expanding.
Yeah. Interesting to see Serotones are on Twitch, actually, not on Facebook. So that's it's good to know that part of it is working.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, dude.
The hell did that with his balls? What did you do with your balls?
Well, I think they're implying that I shaved my balls like Michael shaved his head.
Ah, all right. They obviously know something. They know
They'd
something.
be right. They'd be right. In fairness,
I was thinking that, and then my mind started just shifting. Like, shit, what? Why is this happening?
So you will find, Michael, that there is a mixture of serious, scene orientated questions, but there will also be ridiculous banter and ball associated comments.
And most of that coming from Serotones as well. So
that's perfect. I mean, I have someone I have a few of my community to do the same thing with me. It kind of gets a little too overly sexual, you know what I mean? Because they like it the touch, they like it the rubs that I give them. But
it sounds like you're gonna be right at home here then.
It's not too far from the ordinary.
Yeah. Yo, Mr. Raw Frames, how you doing? Yeah.
Hey man.
I don't think he's missed one. He's on every. Have you heard Raw Frames?
No. Never had a chance. If we can, let's take a listen. I'd love to.
Yeah. He's a cracking raw style kind of artist, raw style sort of hardcore. But his stuff's really cool. He's coming on in leaps and bounds. And he's only a youngster as well, isn't he? So
he's a baby. I think he turned 18 last month. I think possibly.
That's how it begins, man. There's so many talented young folks. I say young as if I'm not young. I'm only 26, turning 27 this year. But
wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of talented people. One of them is actually on the stream right now from my community, Marvin. He's on YouTube right now. What's going on, Marvin? He's a really talented house producer. Like, really makes some interesting mixtures between what's coming out currently and then his own thing. So it's always nice to see what people are making now.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, I'd say the last 18 months, the scene has opened up more than ever and everything's crossing over and, people from different genres are playing music from other genres. And I'm loving it. I think it's, for me, it's, I'm really, and it's kind of almost gone back full circle because and this would be interesting to find out off you actually, how it kind of started in the States. And I think we got a bit of a clue because we went out there probably in about early 2000 to play.
Yeah.
But for us over here, back in the 90s, we had the rave scene and the music was very varied. And basically you went to a rave and it was just called a rave and everything was under one roof. And, and even just in one arena, you would get like a mixture of like 5 or 6 different styles.
Yeah.
And
good times.
From there, very slowly over a long period of time, we just kind of saw the scene split and it would split up into the different genres, but then the genres would split into the subgenres. But then as that kind of path happened, the events kind of got smaller and smaller and smaller over a long period of time. Because obviously every time you split, you're appealing to less people. And I feel like the last maybe 18 months, maybe 2 years, it's started to kind of go back in the other direction, which I think is great because I think it's needed in order for everything to start growing again. And but yeah, how's that been for you? Because I know when we first played America back in, I think it was 2000, I think our first gig there was LA, and then we did Phoenix, Arizona. And back in those, back in 2000, it was really varied. I mean, I remember the one night we played there, and we walked into an arena and there was a guy playing drum and bass. So we went up to the promoter and said, what arena are we playing in? He said, you're in here. And we're like, no way, this is really cool. But I guess it's changed a lot since then. So
yeah, I mean, it's kind of divided, like you said, where all the genres have their own companies and they're all doing their own separate events. And to me, I feel like it's hurting the culture more than it is doing any good, because you start splitting the audience into different groups, and then it starts this trend of people going, oh, my style is better than your style, and oh my God, oh, Dead Mouse, I don't like this guy, and stuff like that. And it really should be about the whole entire spectrum of what we got going on in dance music, because that's how it started. Like even here in the States, in New York, we had events that had techno, had house, had UK garage, had break beats, had electro, anything you can think of together, even hardcore and gabber. Like, it was beautiful. And even up till 2010, 2012, we still had that, and it started kind of shifting towards a single genre thing.
When we went out there, 2000, 2001, because I think we went out there like maybe about 3 times in the space of 2 years. So back in 2000, and I remember everyone saying to us, it just felt like really new and fresh. But was it, or had the scene been going for a while, or was it evolving, or what?
Well, the scene's been going for a long time at this point, since when house started in Chicago, and then everything moved into New York, and then Detroit, and X, Y, and Z. So it's not really new. It's so much that the promoters haven't really been able to grasp the whole audience that's available, because the United States is fucking massive.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I don't know if I can curse, but it's absolutely massive. Yeah. So it's massive. So it's harder to get the word around. And I think it comes down to word of mouth. If people keep sharing it to their friends, it's kind of like a stamp of approval. When your friend shows you a new song from a new artist, you think, okay, they're going to be good because this guy has good taste, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, word of mouth, without a doubt, is the most powerful. When we started Bionic, I think again, which was like same time we went out to America, like 2000. It was definitely, we did the posters, we did the flyers, but it was word of mouth that really helped accelerate it. Like, everyone was talking about it, and you can't pay for that. I know that's kind of most people's goal, to have everyone buzzing about it, but
and you can't force it either.
Yeah.
You can't force it either. Like, you can have your friends promote it and X, Y, and Z, but you can't like tell someone, hey, you better promote this,
Yeah, and be excited about it. Like, I want you to promote it, but also be like excited about it.
Yeah. Like, when I discovered Skrillex for the first time, I didn't really like it at first. I didn't really like his sound at first. It took me a minute, right? When I heard it live, though, I was like, holy fuck, this is something else. Yeah. So I immediately showed all my friends. I'm like, yo, dude, check this dude out. Check this and that, XYZ, freaking nice, Scary Monsters, nice sprites, and all this good jazz.
Well,
it's beautiful.
When the one gig we had out in America, we played out in Arizona, and I think it must have been like a couple of years later. And Holly, DJ Frisky, I don't know if you know her, but she came out there with us. And like a couple of years later, she was just going through a sort of flyer collection, and we'd all picked up flyers from when we were out in America. And she was like, my God, guys, you are not going to believe this. I've just found the flyer for the event we played at. She said, have a look who's on the lineup beneath you guys, right? So she sent the flyer to us, and Skrillex was beneath us on the lineup.
Yeah.
We were like, no
before
way.
he blew up.
No,
we didn't even, it was before he blew, just before his big album. So, that was...
And I remember being in the backstage area that night, and there were a group of Skrillex looking guys. Thinking back now, long hair, kept themselves to themselves in the corner, and we had no idea at the time. We didn't know who they were or anything. And it's to see that then those years later, I was, oh my God, it's Skrillex. Yeah, but it was just before he obviously blew up massive.
Around that time, electro and dubstep was really blowing up. I was going under a different alias at that time because Michael Faze didn't exist until 2012. I was going under Droid Beats, and me and my friend David Raven, he's my partner in that, and we were making a lot of complextro dubstep, and that's what was the main sound in New York, in most of America, just because of Skrillex, That Sick, Excision. It started growing really fast, and it's just intense. A lot of the dubstep guys are really shy, though. Believe it or not, backstage they really do keep to themselves, and they're really shy until they get on stage, obviously.
Yeah, man.
I think a lot of the producers, they're geeky, aren't they? Their thing is their sort of their software they're using, sitting in front of a computer and doing what they do best. They're proper geeks. So putting them in, and a lot of them are socially awkward. They can't handle then the sort of the live interaction because they just love being in front of that computer.
Yeah, man, it's not easy for someone to get out of their shell. Even for me, doing a lot of doing this interview is hard because I'm not such a social person. I might go out on social media, I might live stream the X, Y, and Z, but I really do keep to myself. I don't like to be in the light, so to speak. But I have to do it. This is what I chose to do, This is what I love to do.
Part of the job. Part of the job.
I think a lot of people are like that. I mean, even myself, when over the years, when you get a book in at a gig and the promoter says, can you just do a video saying, this gig next, and I'm like, oh shit, do I have to?
Do I really want to be around humans?
Yeah, that's it. It's not that I don't want to do it. It's just, I only get on camera when I have to. It's
I think the social media side of things, we go back 20 years ago and we didn't have that, and all you had to do, I say all, your main thing was be an artist, perform, just go to a club and just do what you do. Forward 20 years later, and you've got to have that big social media presence. You've got to be on all the platforms. You've got to be doing this, and this. So it's not just about doing your main thing anymore. You've got to have all those other things that come with it as well. Otherwise, who's going to know about you? It's very hard.
I remember Katsuki posting up an image a couple of years ago, and he, it was back in the 90s, your job was just number one, DJ. That's it. And then he said, but now, and it was a list of 15 things, and he was designer, photographer, video editor. It's just so many different things.
Yeah, I've learned that as well. To add on to what Katsuki was posting, you have to be everything, a little bit of everything. You're the graphics designer, the video editor, the person who decides what colors go with your brand, your imaging, and how you want to represent yourself in the social aspect. Do you want to be a funny person or be a complete dickhead or what? It's really up to you, and it ultimately comes down to your personality. Who are you? What are your interests? For me, I'm a big anime fan, comic book nerd. I can tell you everything about Spawn, which is such an amazing superhero / I guess you can call him villain technically. He's also a demon, but it's what personality are you and what makes you you? And a lot of people kind of take that and go too abstract because we're artists. That's what we do.
Yeah.
But to try to simplify it and then show it on media is the tough part in a proper way.
Yeah, definitely. All right, cool. We got our first question. Let's have a look. For Ian, oh geez, is there going to be a bionic reunion after lockdown? Unfortunately, we get a lot of.
I was actually going to ask you guys that too. Funny enough.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, no,
probably there will be, but it won't be called Bionic. It'll be called HDUK.
Great answer. Yeah. So, all right, come on, guys. Let's have some more questions. What we got from the stream needs to liven up. Sean, we need some of your questions then.
Yeah. What questions you got, Mr. Ez?
Not yet. Not your same old one either.
Mr. Anton mentions big up skies, hope you're good. Another great podcast and guest mix from Michael Face. Banging mix, dude. Thank you so much, Anton. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for the love, man.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, guys, let us know if you've heard the podcast yet. So all right, cool. So one thing I wanted to ask you is
hit me.
Yeah, so because I know when in the interview on the podcast, like when you were describing the American scene, there were so many similarities to our scene, as like Dale pointed out.
Yeah,
and you know, when our scene was kind of growing, the one thing we latched onto, which was what kind of made Bionic, I think, as kind of popular as it was, because basically when we started Bionic, everything was hard house. All it was hard house DJs. The scene was massive, and we thought, well, you know, if we just do what everyone else is doing, we're just going to be run of the mill. So we went down the route to book, you know, the first ones to start bringing foreign DJs into the country, and that was kind of what made us kind of blow up, and you know, everyone started buzzing about it. But then I think, you know, for us in the early years, it was very good because it brought us loads of attention. It made the night explode. But then as time went on, we kept kind of focusing on the foreign scene, and we kind of didn't give enough attention to our own scene, which, you know, what happened then when things started getting difficult and, you know, everything started getting tougher, budgets obviously had to reduce. And then unfortunately, you know, people are used to us booking those foreign DJs who cost an arm and a leg.
Yeah.
And then because we hadn't kind of, you know, pushed maybe our scene quite as much as we should, you know, then I think people kind of thought, hang on a minute, you're kind of going 2 steps backwards. So I know your scene as well. You did the same thing. Your scene, you started booking a lot of the foreign acts. You started bringing like Q Dance in and a lot of those artists.
Yeah.
So kind of, did that affect you in a similar way, or was it different?
Hell yeah, it did. It started changing everything. Before, we were focused mostly on local talent, and that's what kept our scene like really thriving. Like we used to throw events in like a deserted graveyard or even a deserted park. And, you know, the outlaws, as we call them, the free parties. And then obviously we had the club parties too. But we mainly booked like local talent like Lenny D, Rob G, Delta 9, DJ Venom, Jen Moss, Frankie Bones. You name it, we were booking them. And we were also booking upcoming talent here. In 2010, it was mostly like my friends and I, Jesse Free, John Bass, who was the first New York hardstyle artist to really bring hardstyle here. And yeah, it's just interesting how everything kind of just shifted, because as the times went further, we started booking more talent like Headhunters, Wild Styles, Isaac, X, and people got very used to it, and that's all they started requesting. And then at that point, how do you keep up with that? Because they were charging X, Y, and Z for this, but we only have this many people that actually attend the shows.
Yeah.
No matter how big the name is.
Then you get people complaining because, oh, hang on, you've only got one international guy. Every other month you've had 2 international guys. What a rubbish lineup. And then you've got all that kind of stuff starting then.
That's exactly what Dale just said. So what, you know, when Bionic kind of took off and we were just like all the events were rammed and stuff, we weren't just booking one foreigner, we were booking 4 foreigners. And that, you know, that's not just like extortionate fees, but that's like 4 flights or you know, if there's a back-to-back, you know, maybe 5 flights, that's loads of hotels. And then
you gotta hope they have a visa too.
Yeah, that's it. And then, you know, when you do start to backpedal a little bit and go, Jesus, this is getting out of control, let's put a slightly smaller lineup on. People are like, well, do you know what? I won't go to this one. I'm going to wait until he book another 4 internationals again. And it's it's good. We definitely dived in a bit too deep on that. And I mean, you know, I think if I could go back, there's no need to put on that many I think we could have focused a little bit more on our scene. And
yeah, I feel like those events should have been like a little bit more special, like maybe New Year's or something. Like a really massive point in our calendar. But for most of it, I think we should have, like, in terms of the UK and America, we should have both focused on the local artists more. It's harder now, especially for American talent to really blow up in hard dance. And I've seen a lot of people start to kind of leave. And it's not to say that they're doing it for the money, because let's be honest, this is our jobs. This is our livelihood. So there is an aspect to that. But also, are we going to be happy with the results that we're constantly getting? Yeah. And it comes down to, how do we make ourselves happy? And some people found it better to just switch genres completely. Yeah. And we're losing artists at this point.
Yeah, definitely. I think as like the hard dance in the UK got a little bit smaller and smaller, just again over time as it breaks down into genres and subgenres and stuff like that, a lot of people did switch. And I remember having an interesting conversation with one of my friends and said, what are your thoughts on, like, it does seem like for hard dance, a lot of the better producers are like in Holland. And I said, why do you think like that one country has got so many good producers? And he said, no, they haven't. He said, it's just all the producers in the UK are making like drum and bass, hip hop, dubstep, different styles of music. So he said, you're just thinking, just because the hard dance scene has got maybe less talented producers doesn't mean there are less. They're just making, and a lot of producers, when it is their job, they kind of follow the money. And, I like, you can still do that and have it as your passion. Because I know for me, like, I love so many different styles of music. It doesn't mean you're selling out.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to sit in the studio and make so many different styles of music. So
yeah, To that point, I think that the term sellout has had a very bad view on it. Like, to me, I think selling out is doing something that you don't necessarily love doing.
Like,
and you're doing it for profit, obviously, and you don't love doing it. Yeah. Like, if I go and make deep house for the rest of my life, I'm gonna do it because I love it. Or if I'm gonna make electro house or whatever, That's why I chose to just be a multi-genre artist, because I love too many genres. And I've tried, like I really tried to be the one genre artist, and I found it to be miserable. Like, and I would be selling out if I just stick to one genre.
I think if you look at the shit that Gamma had for leaving the UK hardcore scene, he was called a sellout, and loads of people, really dissed him and disrespected him. And I think he left because he was just fed up and bored of the music a little bit. He was loving, you look at the stuff that he's making now, all that sort of trap stuff and dubstep stuff. And he obviously loves that. He hasn't left UK hardcore to become this big famous DJ, and not enjoy it.
Yeah.
He obviously likes it. So he hasn't sold out. He's just following his passion, and his tastes has obviously changed,
Yeah, he's also a sound designer. Like, the dude's fucking brilliant with what he does on Ableton. Like, I don't know if you guys saw his point blank tutorial about his tracks. No. He did some shit with a vocal sample and vocoder and a whole bunch of processing and made the lead drop that way. I would have never thought of that. And just to hear him talk about it, it's like you can tell he's passionate about it. It's not like he's doing it for just the money. A lot of people get that confused.
Yeah, definitely. I think
I was one of them too, by the way.
Yeah.
When Tiesto did the switch, I thought he was like hurting me. Like, oh, why are you doing this to me, man? I need at least one more trance album, please. Give me more, please give me more.
All right, cool. I got a question from Sean. Sean is
okay
for you all. Cool. If you could play one event, past or present, what would it be? All right, cool.
That's hard.
That's everything up, doesn't it?
That's hard for me because there's 3 events that I've always wanted to play, And one of them, they don't do it anymore because of an unfortunate accident that happened a couple years back. I'm sure you guys remember what happened at Love Parade.
No, what happened there?
It just got really claustrophobic and people were panicking and it got into a whole riot and all that good jazz. And they had to close the event and not do it anymore.
Is it Germany?
I think so, actually. Hold on.
Love Parade. Germany or Belgium.
Yeah.
That's like the one event I like. That was giving me inspiration to like pop tracks left and right. I'm like, I have to play Love Parade at one day. Love Parade, Tomorrowland, and DEF CON 1, definitely.
What about you, Dale?
There's a few I've been lucky enough to do. Helter Skelter, that's one event that I always wanted to perform at as a youngster, and I got to do that, which is great. DEF CON 1, again, was one of the things I was always aiming for. So to be able to host an arena at DEF CON 1 for me was just brilliant. I think Tomorrowland, that would just be bang. That would just be unbelievable to be mental Tomorrowland. And I think in the past, if I could perform at Universe or Fantasia, I think probably Universe. I think because Universe was a little bit more unique, a little bit different. And I think back to the crowds and the full marquees in those raves back in 1992, 1993. To go back and perform on one of those stages, wow. Yeah, I'd really love to do something like that.
I think I missed those are all good ones. And as you were telling me all this, I immediately thought of another event because there's a lot. Like we've been fortunate to have some amazing events. Sensation White.
Yeah.
Fucking brilliant, unique concept. And every time you see the stage design, it was phenomenal. Oh my Lord.
Yeah, for me, I'm not sure. I think maybe just to be a little bit different and outside the box, instead of picking like a hardstyle event, I think I'd probably pick something like Tomorrowland or EDC or something like that.
EDC too. Yeah, for sure. Oh my Lord.
Wow. That main stage of EDC.
Yeah. Just the whole circuit looks amazing. Oh my God.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that would be it for me, those two.
Yeah, EDC that's a good one. I think if you can get EDC under your belt, you can that's it.
You've made it.
Nothing better than that. Wow.
You've made it. I retire at that point. I can retire a happy man.
Yeah. You've done what you set out to do. Mission accomplished.
Definitely. Will this be uploaded? Yes, it will. As soon as it's finished, it's going to be available on Facebook. It'll be available on YouTube, and I believe Twitch for like a couple of weeks or something. We've only started using Twitch, so we're kind of novices there.
Yeah, I've heard if you get the Monster Cat subscription, you can get the affiliates. Like it's automatic. It's kind of weird, but that could help with keeping the stream live there for however long you want to keep it.
Yeah, we'll have to look into it. I've been meaning to watch some Twitch tutorials to learn the basics because I literally open it up and think, well, yeah, shut it back down. I don't know what's going on there. So,
it's a fun place. It's a fun place. The live experience in Twitch is amazing. You can set up your own emotes, set up your own little fun things to do where your fans can spend their coins that they get. It's totally free to them. And as they watch you, they earn coins and they can make you do silly things. For me, I have something called the Terminator time or Kermit the Frog time, where I'll change my voice into those characters. And I'll just give them a little taste of what Sesame Street feels like, but really it's the Muppets, not Sesame Street.
Brilliant. I want to hear the Terminator one now.
Oh man, that one.
Hey, get to the chopper, Shaka! Don't get down!
I will knock.
Brilliant. Yeah, we're definitely going to get more into Twitch. We're actually planning a couple of things now. So yeah, I might hit you up for some tips here, I think.
Yeah, man. Hit me up anytime.
Yeah.
It's a fun place.
Cool. What we got from Seratones. When do you think the first hardcore hardstyle event will be in Wales after lockdown?
Which lockdown?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think it's probably going to be sandwiched between two lockdowns, and yeah.
How many lockdowns have you guys had so far?
I haven't been counting. I don't know.
I don't know. I think we've had 3, I think, but then they haven't. Some of them haven't been called lockdowns. They've been called. I can't think what they've been called. Being called something else. So even though we probably had about 4 or 5 lockdowns, but I think there's only 3 that are called lockdowns, and the other 2 are called something else. You know.
So what stage are you at with your events at the moment? Do you have events going on, or are they paused for now?
Well, they're starting back up apparently, and it looks like the dates are around September, November, around there. There's like Izu is happening here finally again. I'm kind of skeptical about it because it hasn't gone away, and over here we got a 2nd and 3rd variant of the COVID virus.
Yeah,
so like, there's one that makes you blind. Apparently,
sure.
I'm scared to get that one because I like looking at things. Mainly.
Is that
mainly
permanent?
FL, because you gotta use your eyes.
Is that permanent or temporary or?
I have no idea. I have to do a little bit more research on that, but I know that to kind of fight it, they're making us wear 2 masks. I think personally, just develop a product that's gonna help you kind of keep your whole body. But at that point, you're gonna look funny in the streets, just walking around in a suit,
in a bubble.
Yeah, a bubble. 1000% you're safe.
Yeah.
You might cook. You might cook alive if it's summer, but
yeah.
So,
I don't know, man.
Someone's asking you to speak German, yeah.
Versus tunes. Oh no. I can't speak German, but I give you the German accent just a little bit, Hi, my name is Michael Moscoso. I'm the 3rd member of Cosmic Gate. If you don't know, I engineer them. Mm-hmm. Ha. No.
All right, cool. We got a famous question here. This one's for you. We've answered this before, so this one's for you.
Oh my lord. I had a feeling this was going to happen. Who the fuck am I kidding? I got to ask. 1, Michael, would you prefer a finger as a penis or penises as your fingers? Wow.
Think about it.
I just have to, I don't know, man. I'd rather my finger as my penis. It just it feels like it makes more. I mean, both of those seems like it just still leads back to the goddamn finger. So yeah, I'll just go with that, man. There's no way around it.
Yeah,
I don't think there's a correct answer either. Is there? It's just
this is A and B. Either way, you're getting stuck with a penis on your finger, apparently.
Yeah.
I don't even think it calls for a more detailed answer either. So
I feel like a dirty skank at this point.
Cool. All right, cool. So all right.
Going back to Seratones' question there with the next hardstyle event. There's lots going on in the UK, or lots have been announced. Kidstock have announced their lineup just a few days ago. There's lots of stuff being advertised. Is it June, July onwards? I think that's when it seems to be getting busy.
Yeah.
The government have said 21st of June. That's when pubs and clubs and stuff are going to be open again. But I think we just got to wait and see. I want to stay positive, and I want to hope that these things happen. But when you hear things going on in the news, I think France has just gone into another 1 month lockdown, and France is right next to us. It's just across the channel. So when you hear stuff like that is happening so close to home, it does really make you worry. But trying to keep positive and hope that these things do go ahead.
Yeah, I tell you what, absolutely. I just feel like, kind of giving all the promoters a round of applause, because anyone who's got kind of balls to advertise an event and put it out there and stick their money on the table. I mean,
Oh yeah.
I don't know, for me, I'd be too nervous at the moment, because I just feel like, even though, generally it does seem like things are getting better, the rug could be pulled from under your feet at
Just
literally
like
any
that.
time. Yeah, just like that. So it's I think everyone in the scene needs to have some kind of understanding where, I think even if promoters pay deposits and stuff, that in the event that it's just gets stopped and it's in, no one's fault, it's out of everyone's control. I think people need to be, go on, look, have the deposit back, or let's hold on to it for the next event, or something like that.
Yeah.
Because
if people have bought a ticket and deposits have been paid, I the thing I would say is, if you bought a ticket and the event doesn't go ahead and the company are prepared to move it forward to another event or whatever it may be, don't be a dick and demand for your money back, because if all those people ask for their money back, that company's bust and they're gone, and then you're not going to get your event then the following year. So just really be supportive, guys. And if you bought a ticket and it doesn't go ahead, then I know that's a shit, but look at what their options are to still support that brand and event going forward, I think.
Yeah, I think the other thing we have to take into consideration, right? Human history when it comes to these things. We haven't necessarily had a great, timeline on our behaviors, especially in these kind of situations. We kind of just fall flat on our asses when it comes to plagues or any kind of infections. Like, there's a reason why they make these movies about the end of the world and XYZ, because we're really bad at handling these situations. Like, so one guy is going to scratch their ass or something, or dig up their nose. Like, these are real things, and then you get infected just because your dumbass did something like that. Or I don't know, man. Just humans are prone to are bound to commit error at some point. So I'd rather just wait till it's completely settled.
Yeah, definitely. But I guess somebody has to be the first one to make a move and advertise that event, and I think as well, everyone wants that little bit of positivity, that bit of hope, and that bit of sense that things are getting better. Because I guess it must be so tough for people who kind of, I guess, live for the weekend, and they this is the one thing they've always loved, and then all of a sudden that's been taken away from them, and then they're maybe working all week, or they're getting stressed, and no one at the moment, people are missing that kind of opportunity to let their hair down. So
and it's also a great opportunity for a lot of us DJs and producers to go out and see what's playing in the club and what people are reacting to, so we can take bits and pieces of it and put it into our own music, and to continue growing the fan base in that sense. Because another form of presence is being at these events.
Yeah, definitely. I've loved the one thing I've really loved about all this is, seeing the people who've stepped back and seeing the people who've like upped their game, and they've maybe done this and done a sample pack or done a live stream, and it's really cool. Like, some people have really kind of gone, it's literally, they've gone, right, no worries, leave it to me, I'll, and they've got some people are putting out some wicked content. And actually, this is another question then I got for you, because one thing we've noticed since all of this is, in the UK, like, if you look at a period of 10 or 10 years or longer, 99% of the artists in the scene are the same names, who keep not, very few new people sort of come to the surface, and you could, I suppose that's another question about why that is. But what we've seen since like the first lockdown is, all of a sudden we've seen new artists emerge, new DJs, and mostly DJs doing live streams, but all of a sudden people have kind of put themselves out there. And I reckon, like, for me, the past year has been such an opportunity for new artists to to all, because like all of the platform has been taken away from everyone, right? You
Yeah.
haven't got like, whereas before you had the big guys up on a big stage and you had the small guys just doing small little clubs. Now we're all on a level playing
Stage
field.
is the same.
All we can
We're
do
all
is
at home.
stick a webcam in front of us and do the same thing. So in the
Mhm.
UK, we've seen like a lot of new names pop up, and like some of them were people who weren't on flyers before, they weren't playing big events, and they're getting like 10,000 views on their live streams.
Yeah.
So have you seen a similar thing? Have you seen new people pop up in your scene?
For me, it's been kind of weird because I don't really go on the socials to kind of find new people. It kind of just comes up to me either through a friend or a fan posts it on my Discord, and I'll just go check them out. So mostly, like, I'm checking out my Discord artists and seeing what they're doing. We have an inner promo section on there where we can see what they're up to. So in terms of new artists, always in a sense,
Yeah.
and a lot of really amazing ones that have not been found yet. Like, it's absurd the amount of talent that exists.
Yeah.
It's almost like you sit back and you go, well, my music is total shit compared to this guy or this girl, because there's a lot of talented women out there too. Like, I've actually noticed a lot more females coming up in terms of DJs and live streams, and it's great because back a couple years there wasn't too many representations of female energy in the DJ night culture, and I feel like it's great to finally see more of it just popping up and spreading.
Yeah, well, I think one thing I'm very curious about is when the events start back up, are we going to start seeing these new guys who've just been smashing the live streams? Are they going to all of a sudden start to appear on lineups with some of the big? Yeah, no, I think so as well.
I hope so, because they deserve it. They've obviously taken COVID-19 by the balls and dealt as best they can with it. And what they've done is just what we would have done in the clubs. They've entertained and kept that passion of music going in people. So I think they deserve to be playing in the clubs after all this, definitely.
Hell yeah, they earned that right. They hustled. They got their numbers where they needed to be. Like it's worth it in the end. And I think at the end of the day, it's going to come down to a balance between talent and numbers, really. Because at this point in time, it doesn't even matter anymore about the association between the numbers and how much talent you have. You can be a shit artist, have a lot of numbers, and still play a big ass event. Like,
yeah, definitely.
It's been proven.
Yeah. Oh no, 100%. But in a way, it unfortunately does make sense because if someone's got a following of 10,000 people, even if they're not as good as someone who's very talented and only got 1,000 people following, a lot of promoters will go with the one who's got a bigger following because that puts people through the door. And at the end of the day, everything is a business, isn't it? So,
yeah.
So,
and you can't fake your way anymore. Like there's people that try it, but
the one thing I always say, because when people get dissed and some people go, well, you're not good, people are only booking you because you've got a following. And I'm like, yeah, but if you're dedicated and determined and you've got serious talent, your talent shouldn't stop at your music. You need to look at the business side of it. You need to look at how you can get that following. Like that, unfortunately, is just part of it. You can't escape that. And the ones that try and ignore it are the ones that will get left behind, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. Like it goes back to what we were saying before, where you have to be a little bit of the graphics designer and video editing and everything. Like you have to portray your vision to the world clearly and consistent, and that is a very difficult task. And for someone to pull it off, whether they have talent or not, they deserve their flowers.
Definitely.
On that list of things that you need to do, and people always say, it's just it's who you know. And that who is on, it's got to be on your list of things because you've got to do all those things. But you've still got to know the promoters. You still got to know
Yeah.
the resident DJs. You still got to go to those nights to support them.
And
So you do have to. Part of it is knowing the right people, but you've got to have all those other things as well to come in. It comes as a big package, you know.
Yeah, but you know, also I got to say, like, you know, well done to the people that get to know the right people, because, like you just said, it is part of it. You know, and you don't need to be like some, you know, kind of creep who's like just kind of give me a gig, give me a gig, give me a gig. It's not about that.
I hate that guy.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
you
it's
know,
not that.
you can still put yourself in a situation where you know, you hang out with a club promoter and you're like, hey, you know, do you want a drink? Like, you know, really enjoying tonight, you know, without asking for the gig, basically just being the, you know,
actually supporting your scene, and it doesn't just come down to you purchasing a ticket. Like, you have to show up, communicate with people, hang out, you know, don't be a dick, and just have a good vibe with everyone. Build a relationship first before you even ask for the gig. Because you can be talented all you want. If you're a dickhead, no one's gonna book you.
Yeah, when people have said to me, like, you know, back when sort of clubs were a thing and we had events to go to, when people said to me, how can I want to play at more clubs, how can I play? I would just say, easiest thing you can do is go to the events you want to play at and let the people see you that you're supporting them. Because I remember when, say if someone you know, didn't turn up at one of our events and they told us on the day and they're like, right, we can't make it, and we're like thinking, shit, we need to replace them, my mind straight away would go to who's been going to our last few events. I would want to support the people who've been supporting us, you know. You don't think of someone who's just dropped a demo in your inbox or something like that. You think who's been at the event, who's been at the front of the crowd,
who's been present.
Exactly.
Who's there that night supporting the event that was there last month, the month before.
Because I tell you, I've been in those situations before where I'll go to a warehouse party and the promoter, who's a friend of mine, would tell me, yo, this dude didn't bring backup CDs or USBs, and do you have your USB on you? And that's another thing about being prepared too for those moments when you go support the scene, to make sure you have your weapons with you. Obviously not real weapons, okay, people. Just music.
Yeah, with you, you're all right.
Yeah, and then that leads into you getting a random gig right on the spot, and
and it's easier to have a USB in your pocket rather than 20 years ago a big box of vinyl.
I remember walking around like festivals with a bag of 100 records, like hoping someone wouldn't turn up.
Someone's not going to turn up,
I can't relate to the vinyl, but I can relate on the CD spectrum side of things. I had to lug like 2 things of CDs. I'm like, oh man, I hope somebody doesn't rob me of my records, because I paid so much money going to the CD store, listening to these records. And back then we actually had to go to the stores. We didn't have YouTube. We didn't have LimeWire. This is pre-LimeWire days and Napster days. We had CDs, and you see this little teenager going into the CD store, blasting music all the time. You probably get annoyed because it's the same guy playing the same Tiesto records over and over. And you know, that's how you got your information. What was out?
Yeah,
I miss those days.
Yeah, cool.
Hanging around in record shops and stuff, and
meeting
going
people
to
too
on a Saturday. It was part of again getting to know the people and mixing with the right guys. It was that just won't happen anymore, you know.
Yeah, but you know, it is part of it, being a part of the community, networking, all of that. So
and even if it's not in the direct EDM scene too, because I'll give you an example, right? If I went to this Digital Life convention in 2006, it was the last one. It's a convention here at the Jacob Javits Center in Manhattan, where they show the new technology and they have different competitions, X, Y, and Z. And I was back then one of the top DDR Dance Dance Revolution players here in New York. So me and my friends who were also the top players there, we had entered a tournament. And when they took a break to do a little commercial, I went to the M audio section and I started playing with the new, I guess at the time it was like the new CDJs that they were inventing and all that. And I put in one of my songs and two guys walk up to me, completely baffled by what I was playing. And they were like, "Yo, is this your song?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And they give me their emails to send the music, right? And at this time, I'm only maybe like, what, 12, 13? And when I go back to my friend Chris Beast, I show him, I'm like, "Yo, I met these two guys that want me to send them my music. You think I should do it?" I show them the email and he's like, "Oh my God, you know who you just met?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "You just met Armin van Buuren and Ferry Corsten." And I'm like, "Oh, are you fucking kidding me? That's what they look like?" And then I started running back to the M audio section like, no. And oh man, amazing. I just I couldn't find them. I think they just completely left at that point.
Wow.
And I was pissed.
That's so cool.
I was pissed. I didn't know how to work email, no nothing. I actually tried to submit to A State of Trance's trance story, how you found trance or EDM or whatever, and I sent them that story too, just hoping I can get that chance to be like, "Yo, you guys have my
wow. That's what a great story.
It's unfortunate, man.
Definitely.
I wish I knew, but back then I didn't know what people look like. The DJs, we didn't know what they look like.
Yeah. Got 12, 13 as well. Actually, that can lead on to my question quite nicely, actually. I know you mentioned in the interview, you I think it was the first set that you done. Was it for someone's birthday party?
Yeah.
And were you just 10 years old? I think you said at that stage.
I think I was just turning 11 at that time.
So tell me a bit about that. How did that set go?
What year was that?
I don't know, like 2005, maybe 2004 or somewhere around there.
Oh shit, yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, the promoter told me to just, stay in your booth. We'll bring you water and juice and and you'll be okay. You'll be all right. And it was a daytime party. So it was, it was perfectly legal. And I didn't play on CDJs. I played on these weird decks that you had to like spin like this.
Oh, I know.
Sort of. Wow. You put the CD in the CD player, but like the decks are a little wheel, and then you got just the two faders, and there's no EQ, no nothing, and you're just praying, "Oh Lord, I hope I hit this at the right time," because I cannot, with CDJs you have the control of reversing the song. This you had no control at all. Yeah. So at one point I did train wreck like just one song, but because I knew the music, I was just like, okay, I'll just wait till this section and then switch it.
Yeah.
And I was lucky for that, but there was no effects, no nothing. It was kind of like really bad. Wow. But all the gigs after that though were amazing.
Cool.
But it was quite an experience.
Brilliant.
Something I was wanted to ask about. So a friend of mine, he saying about Discord. Yeah. So Discord, what is that exactly? Because this is something I've never got into. I know people started talking about it, and for me, I've just got so many accounts. I'm like, anything to avoid setting up a new account. I'm like,
I think Discord is like the best way to put it, like the new forums.
Okay.
Best way to put it. You can create channels on there where you discuss different topics that you want to discuss and have different categories. The categories are going to have different lists of channels. So you can make a category called music production and then separate into different chat rooms. That's what the channels are. And you can have like demo submissions, sample packs, etc. And just exchange information, get to know people. And it's just another way to get closer to people without, advertisements being in your face.
Yeah.
All the time. Like you go to Facebook, you're bound to see an advertisement. You see a video on Facebook, you're bound to see an ad. and the interaction is completely different than, say, Facebook, Instagram. On Discord is more personal, and you can play video games with people. You can live stream, get all in a voice chat together. It gets really personal, and it's amazing. I love Discord.
Yeah, cool.
But I'm that old grandpa that it takes a minute to learn that new little social media. Because I tell you, the Void helped a lot with setting up the Discord, and I appreciate that, man. I do.
Yeah,
love the Void.
The thing is now there's just so many different like platforms and channels, and I'm like always, as soon as a new one pops up, I'm like, oh no, please don't get popular. I don't want another one. It's so much work, like managing all your different accounts every day.
Well, it comes down to your. Go ahead.
Sorry, was it Vero a couple of years ago that came out? Was it
Vero?
Yeah.
It was all right, actually. Vero was not that bad. It just didn't really take off the way it could have. It actually did lead to some opportunities. I actually finally connected with Kutsky because of Vero. Like it took a while for me to actually finally talk to him, and Vero kind of closed the gap there.
Yeah, he's probably like, wow, there's another person on Vero.
Just Kutsky and Michael Faze,
yeah. But I think it ultimately comes down to how active is your social media, and not active as in like how active are you, but how active are your fan base on social media. So if your Facebook is the most active place, you should probably spend more time on there than spending time on the other apps, because it just makes more sense. I know at one point in time, I tried to do all of them, and I started getting panic attacks because it was just too much. Like imagine you're designing artwork, and then you have to resize it for every social media, and they all have different sizes, which makes it even more of a headache.
Yeah, and tagging people, because people will have spelled their name differently or have a number if they can't get, and you can't just do a post, copy paste. It's like tweak it, change the tag, change the picture.
It's a real headache. But I found that it's much better to just focus on one or two social medias, period. Because when I started doing YouTube, my girlfriend suggested I should make a YouTube and start posting on there more regularly. And I thought, okay, well, what kind of content am I going to post? And it came down to helping producers who don't know how to make hard dance and how to sound professional. And I started doing that more and more and more. And because I was only focusing on that social aspect in YouTube, I grew a lot faster on YouTube than I did in my other platforms.
Yeah.
It really just comes down to nailing one and then letting that one kind of help all the others.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not an easy job. You got to like scroll through your analytics and see how your channels have performed over the years and then make a hard decision.
Yeah, definitely. All right, cool. So, let's say that, things do start getting better, for the American scene, what do you think you need now when events start coming back? What do you think would benefit you the most there?
I think it's going back to the basics, man. I think people need to bring back that rave feeling in parties where we have every genre possible. Even if it's hip hop or pop and rock music, just bring it all together, because then you actually get to flourish that scene. You get a little bit of the pop culture coming in, and they start to like dance music, or you get the rock culture and they start to like pop music, X, Y, and Z. It helps each other. I
completely agree. In fact, just before this was kind of the direction our scene was going in. We had
Hellfire
events like Hellfire. So this was a big event where I think the first one they did, they had 5,000 people turn up, and if you put on a hardstyle lineup in the UK, you're not going to get 5,000 people. So what they did, they put a bit of EDM, a bit of like trance, you know, bit of hardstyle, and just mixed it all up and got 5,000 people. To get numbers like that, you're only going to do it if it's a multi-genre event and you're pulling in different crowds. You're not, and that, for
That's
me,
facts.
that is the only way it can go. If the scene wants to build and get bigger, there's no other way to do it. I don't think.
Yeah. And I think at the end of the day, it helps out in many other ways. Like you're inspiring other artists with different sounds. You're inspiring other people to join different types of scenes and create something new and special. And I think LA has actually done a great job at doing this, where they have some events where they just put them all together and then some separate, obviously. And that's a great way of doing that. But we don't have that like here in New York or maybe Chicago as well. I wish it could just flourish quickly and people could just be addicted to it. But it's hard for that information to travel here.
Yeah,
we'll figure something out.
Passion, didn't they?
Yeah, you know, because here's the other thing, right? There's back in the day, I think it was one governor or something like that deemed disco music Satan's music. Yeah, and they started breaking records in the baseball stadium. I forgot which one. It's actually part of history here in America. My dumbass doesn't remember the name of it. It should be labeled the asshat who destroyed beautiful music. But yeah, and people started not buying disco records and stuff like that just because of religious reasons. And it was like, no, you guys are idiots. It's just music.
Music, yeah.
It's just music. Come on, it don't go that deep.
Wow. How mad's that?
Yeah, but you know, that's I think that was like early when disco was just coming up or whatever. And I think that mindset is still here when it comes to dance music. It didn't start like boosting or exploding until, and I gotta give him his props, David Guetta, when he started mixing hip hop artists into electro beats, and then it started becoming way more popular. Like we had other groups, LMFAO, 303, Katy Perry, and Skrillex was a big part of that too. Datsik, the whole dubstep scene. But we need more for sure to keep growing. I don't know how it is for you guys in the UK. Maybe you guys could collaborate with different artists and different genres, and maybe that'll help kind of.
Did you know what? That is an amazing idea. I love that. Yeah, that's such a good idea. I guess straight away I can think of so much potential. You know, again, just bringing two scenes together. It was like when I went to that Hellfire event, and you know, I walked into the main arena, and there were thousands of people there, and you had, you know, like, you know, girls in fluffy boots and stuff. You could tell they were there for like the more EDM kind of sort of sound, but then they were going off to like Brennan Hart playing raw style, and I was looking at them and thinking, if someone come up to you, you know, outside of this event and said, "Oh, I got some raw style here. Do you want to listen?" No, I'm not listening to that. But because they didn't know what they were listening to. They were loving it. You know, they probably thought they were listening to new hard EDM.
That's what happened to me in my first rave, man. I went to a Tight Crew event, and they're usually like based in Massachusetts, and they do parties mostly there. But they did one here in New York, and it was my first rave. My friend Eddie Pac-Man, dope dude. He showed me, he showed me the ways of the rave, and it was at this nightclub called La Oveja Negra, and it was a Super Mario themed event. So it had happy hardcore all the way and some hard style, and I was like, yo, what is this? And soon enough, I got hooked on it and found other different crews that threw different parties and mixed all these different genres. I'm like, yo, what is this? This is amazing. Like, you get exposed to different sounds that you would have never considered if someone would have told you.
Yeah. And, you know, that can literally change the next 10 years of your life by getting into a scene that you kind of didn't know about. So, yeah. All right, cool. Yeah, cool.
Go ahead.
So anyway, I was just going to say, obviously we respect your time and we're over the hour, so we're just going to end with some quick fire questions.
Yeah.
Just give us first thing that comes to the top of your head. So go on, Dale. Do you wanna?
Okay, yeah, cool. So, when was the last time you were late for something?
Oh man, that's rough. I would say a doctor's appointment last week, and I felt like shit. Then I had to wait there like another 30 minutes.
Ew.
All right, your favorite movie of all time?
Oh fuck, that's hard as shit. Damn, could it be more than one?
Go on, maybe you can have 2 or 3.
Top 2, yeah.
Okay, top 2. Oh, all right. The Matrix.
Yeah, good choice.
And Inception.
Good choice.
Wow.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Yeah. Okay. The last item you purchased?
These beautiful headphones right here.
Nice.
These have changed everything within my process. It's amazing.
All right, cool. Slightly different question. If you could be any animal, what would you be and why?
Monkey.
Why?
Just feels like it relates to my character. I can just swing on trees, eat bananas all day, sit, lay down, be a little lazy, But it got to be a certain kind of monkey. There's those cute ones, those little tiny ones that are hairy, and you see them in the mountains, fountains, and all that. Yeah.
Okay, Nike or Adidas?
Nike or Adidas? Oh, how dare you! Fuck. I have to say Nike. I've always been a Nike boy.
Okay, cool.
Day one, Air Force.
Favorite cartoon character?
Oh, fuck, man. This is rough. Goku. I gotta say Goku from Dragon Ball Z.
Okay.
The best person ever. Yeah, that dude will go through anything and come back out just intact.
Okay, what scares you?
Heights. I hate heights.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
I go on the airplane, and the second I look down, I'm like, "Oh, this is beautiful." And then the realization of me being thousands of miles in the air is like, "Oh shit, I shouldn't have done that."
All right, cool. What color is your toothbrush?
Black.
Nice. Cool.
Oh, black.
iPhone or Samsung?
Samsung. I like iPhones for the browsers and the app store, but in terms of customability, Samsung all day.
Cool. What impresses you?
What impresses me? Being humble in a time like this.
Yeah, good answer.
Nice. Favorite food?
Lasagna. Specifically my girlfriend's lasagna. I cannot. I will eat the whole thing and not leave anything for anybody else.
Amazing. Okay, what makes you feel sad?
Hans Zimmer's music in a good way.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, okay. Tea or coffee?
Oh, you know this answer from the Bustelo Nation. Coffee all day, baby.
Cool. Favorite country you visited?
I haven't visited my favorite country yet, but so far, Canada.
Okay, what would be your favorite country?
Tokyo.
Ah, nice. Yeah, lovely place. Amazing.
Tokyo.
Loved it.
Best childhood memory?
Discovering dance music. It literally saved me. Like, I would not be alive here today if it wasn't for dance music. It made me discover the Dance Revolution scene, helped me discover the rave scene, new friends, my current friends, even you guys. Like this, it gave me everything.
Yeah, that's I'm same for us.
So I gotta say thanks to fucking Gabriel and Dresden for making As the Rush Comes.
Yeah, cool. All right. Okay, favorite venue you've played at?
That's rough. Oh man, I gotta say, L.A. Wasteland. It's San Bernardino, the NOS Center. That was my favorite.
Just sorry to interrupt the questions. Do you remember the Masterdome in LA, or is that not there now?
I'm not sure actually, because
that was our first American gig.
What was when we played there a couple of years ago, like 3 years back? That was LA. I can't even remember what venue that was. For Hardcore Heaven.
What shit? Yeah, it was, wasn't it? I can't remember
That was
what
LA.
venue was for that. Yeah,
No, I can't remember.
I mean, I think it's still there.
Yeah.
I think they probably renamed it by now, though.
Yeah, it was a while ago. All right, cool. Last song you listened to?
Last song I listened to. Oh dang. Fuck, I got a grandpa's memory over here. Well, actually, that's a good. I can just open up Spotify. What am I doing? Gammer and David Spector. This is the end.
Oh, cool. Okay. What is your dream car?
Oh, a Tesla, baby. Oh yeah, this is the best thing on earth, man. You get a car and you get to do good for the world.
All right, cool. And the final question: define success.
I guess, would it be wrong to answer the question with a question?
No, go on.
How do you define success? Because
Yeah,
it's a very personal answer. I mean, success is different to you what it means to me.
Yeah, but I guess that's the point of the question, isn't it? To find out what you think.
I think at the end of the day, if I wouldn't say happy, because happiness comes and goes. But if you're financially stable enough to still do what you love to do, it doesn't matter how much money, just enough to keep you going. Then you're successful.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. That's a good one to end on. All right, brilliant.
Nice, brilliant, guys.
Cool. I guess just to end, then, do you want to let people know where they can get hold of you, where they can find out what you're doing, where's the best place to come and hang out with you?
Yes, it doesn't have to be your home address.
Oh, yeah.
No, you guys can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/MichaelFaze, or on YouTube. I'm going to be doing a lot more YouTube content in the next coming weeks. I'm trying to figure it all out. But mainly I'm on Discord almost every day at this point with everyone, talking and seeing how they're doing, their life updates, and just connecting on there. And Instagram. So if you find me on Instagram, shoot a message.
Is Discord something that anyone can join you, or do they need to do? Yeah,
they can join, make an account. It's real simple and really easy to navigate around.
All right, cool.
And we can play video games together too on there.
Yeah, awesome. I will have to. I'll have to come and say hello there. I need to come and check it out, definitely.
Yeah, if you guys make one, let me know. I'll hop on in and post my nudes.
All right, cool. So on that note, anything else from you, Mr. Sharker?
No, that's it. Just thank you for joining us. It's been really good chatting. It's really nice to find out how things are over there with you compared to over here. So yeah, great to finally speak to you in person. And thank you for your time.
Excellent.
Thank you guys so much. I do have one question for you guys, though.
Go for it.
What would you like to do with your current brand in the next year?
That's a really good question. Well,
musical direction.
Yeah, well, we're actually working on something right now. I don't know if we want to kind of say what we're working on, but we're actually working on something right now. It's going to involve more live streams, but more variety of live streams.
Yeah, so it's going to increase our online presence. It's going to, with no events on, we need to be doing more of what we're doing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're gonna
basically, I always think like, when you're trying to think of something new to do, you just say, right, what's our biggest problem right now? We kind of asked that question. We said, what's our biggest problem? And we thought, well, the biggest problem is we got no events. So we're lacking. We're not able to go out. We're not able to meet people. We're not able to mingle in the crowd and have a wander around and chat to people and find out what they're up to and find out what they're doing. And we thought, okay, so we're doing the podcast, but that's still not the interaction. We're just giving people music. And we thought this is pretty cool because we're interacting more, but this is only once a month. And we thought, when we had gigs, we were pretty much out every week. So we thought we need to find a way where we can kind of put ourselves, a bit like you with Discord. We wanted to find a way to put ourselves back amongst the kind of fans and the music lovers. So we've come up with something. We're working on it now. And we're hoping to launch it hopefully for the, for the sort of start of the summer. So that's where we want to take the brand as far as like kind of ideas goes, and there will be more information on that. Musically though, keeping it varied. So maybe not so varied I'd call it complete multi-genre, but maybe a little bit more varied than we're doing now. We've got some cool releases coming up on our label, from some interesting artists as well outside of our genre. So just keep spreading our wings, keep on
I think that's over the last sort of 18 months, maybe 2 years if you ignore the last 12 months. I think the variation of just hardstyle in itself, it's just really, really, really grown. It used to be reverse bass and Dutch kicks, and that was it for years. And it's got so many variances now. You've got the size cell stuff. And all of that can be crammed into one set. And I think the variation, before COVID-19 came along with all the sets was just really refreshing. Looking forward to hearing more of that.
Yeah,
definitely. All right, guys. Well, thank you to everyone who's joined us. Thanks for all your questions. Thanks to Mr. Michael Faze.
Thank you guys so much.
So two things. Also, when this finishes, stay there because we'll chat to you kind of behind the scenes now. Also, if you've got anything you want to shout about, anything you want to tell everyone about, then post the links in the comments when we're done. So guys, keep an eye on the comments and hopefully we'll have some links to Michael Faze's stuff for you.
Yes, sir.
Excellent.
Thank you guys so much for having me here. I appreciate it. And it is a dream to just be here because I remember getting the DDR sampler, which had your remix of Fashion Nation Max Cali, with Cali and Juice. And I was like, yo, who the fuck are these guys? I got to keep up. So it's been a while. So it's awesome to finally do this.
Definitely. Let's hope when events start back up, you can come over here and hopefully we'll come and visit you as well. And
hell yeah, man.
Try send me a girlfriend's lasagna.
Yo.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's the best.
Yeah, wicked. All right, wicked. Okay, thanks everyone. And we'll speak to you all soon.
Peace, guys.
Awesome, guys.
Later.